Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy, and finding some time to enjoy life in this crazy time that we're going through. Just thought I'd share a little bit of my morning here, which is typical. Let the chicks out. We hunted for worms and all the mud, and now they're feasting on some bird seed, which they love. I give it to the wild birds. Have a feeder. My pomegranate tree looks like it's doing really well. Papaya trees, got a bunch of papayas. I don't really know when they ripen. I should look that up. Then I got, what's over there? Oh, there we go. That is, if you notice, it's well protected with clay pots, just in case they knock over the chicken wire. That is, which one are you? Oh, Browbritter rose. So that hopefully will look really pretty there. Then just past that, underneath the, what's over there? The windmill, I planted a climbing rose polka. So that was just planted. It's surrounded by my chicken wire, because if it wasn't, it would be gone. And then, I'll stand up. Then I've got my almond tree. Whoopsies. Let's go back. Almond tree. Hello. This is my little urban farm. There we go. So, oh yeah, there's Polly right next to my pretty Santa Rosa, weeping Santa Rosa plum that's finally flowering a little bit. Grapevine, it's probably, I don't know, 30 years old. It's coming out. That was unfortunately a Chinese elm, I think. They call it a Chinese elm, from my neighbors that kind of went crazy. I left it up because it provided nice shade for the birds, but it's coming out. Hopefully it'll probably come back, because they're notorious for that. There's my polka, hopefully safely protected from the horsemen over here. And like I said, my almond tree. Some, what are you? Rosemary that needs to get in the ground. A pomegranate tree I grew from seed, with a lavender plant right in front of it there. You can barely see it. That sprouted from my lavender around my bird bath fountain. My mulberry tree, bush, whatever you want to call it. I had to chop it down by at least 2 feet because the wind was too much and was blowing it over. But as you can see, Tom Hansen, you're right. Look at all those mulberries forming. Yay. So if they drop, then the birds will eat them. And if not, I pick them, then I eat them. Another rosemary. A rose of Sharon that got transplanted from a spot too shady. So I'm waiting to see what happens. It's alive. It just is kind of still dormant. And then Cousin It here is just looking beautiful. All kinds of pretty flowers on it. I forgot the name of it. I found it. But it's got all kinds of pretty little pink flowers. Yay. Hopefully it'll produce something this year. It didn't, even though it bloomed. Then I have a, what is this sucker? A clematis. Forgive me if I can't pronounce anything. And it hopefully will survive and climb the arbor that I got for the rose. And next to it is a lilac that I don't know where I'm going to put it, so I transplanted it from a too shady spot to a pot. So it's there for now, just because I have no idea where I'm going to put it. And then, of course, over here, a fence to protect from the evil ones. So we have a, let's see if I can get out of the sun. This is my climbing rose, which is starting to climb up. It's got a trellis, and then I said, oh, it's really climbing. So I've got the arbor. So hopefully we'll go over the arbor and meet the clematis on the other side. And again, I'm so sorry about pronunciation. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And a little miniature rose that I moved back here because I had to take the cage from it and put it on one of the other roses that is exposed to the chicks. some lavender, some rosemary again. Why can I never remember rosemary? This is Desdemona. She's coming up. This is her 2nd year, and she's got a bud on her. St. Francis, protecting all the birdies and the doggies. And some basil that I stuck in there. I don't think it's doing very well, but it's only been there for a couple days, and it's been poured on. So another mulberry bush in a pot that's back here because the chicks would eat it. Things back here are not set in stone because they're here to protect them from the ticks, and especially the things in pots. They're just here to be protected. There's some sage down there. I forget what the pink stuff's called. That's a pineapple. It's been there for a couple years. I'm thinking hopefully maybe if it's still alive, it might actually produce a pineapple this year. We'll see. Then Grandma's hat rose back in the back there. It's really doing well. It's even got a bud on it. Blueberry. Some lavender again. This lavender, that lavender, not that one. That one I bought, but this lavender, and that lavender I took from cuttings, and they are just taken off. Okay, so there's blueberry. There is my bougainvillea that I put in a pot just because it was in a smaller pot, and it was easy target for chicks because they love eating that for some strange reason. And some strawberries in a pot, and I got some oh God, not broccoli, what's the other thing? Cauliflower, purple cauliflower, which I hate cauliflower, but Josh likes it, so, and purple's his favorite color, so, plus it was the only one they had left at Home Depot of any vegetables, so I thought I better get a couple little vegetables, and so I stuck it in that. Probably the wrong size, but oh well, we'll see. You don't know until you try, right? Oh yeah, and then an apple tree. I forget which one you are. You're either the Gala or the Pink Lady. So I think that's the Pink Lady. That's the Gala. I have it marked down somewhere. Then some baby cakes, thornless blackberry. Yay, and it's doing good. And I might have blackberries. Woohoo! And that's the little garden area that I have safe from chicks. I'm gonna probably put some nasturtiums in there or something. I gotta figure out what else I'm gonna put for the ground cover. Or for now, maybe just some mulch. We'll see. Some wood chip mulch I can buy. So thankfully Home Depot and Lowe's are still open. So, but I got that. Then over here is my camellias, and the names are there, but I don't remember offhand exactly all of them. There's a hydrangea, and it's doing great because all my other ones I planted died because the dog was peeing on them. So now I have this fence that I moved from where it used to be over here, but I got this pretty little fence that I put up, so that's there, and I said let's section this off so the dog doesn't pee on the hydrangea and the chicks can't get to the camellias. So that one is buttons and bows, and it had already had a pretty flower, but it fell off. This is Jewel, and they're about ready to fall off, but I got a volunteer sunflower coming up, so I'm just gonna leave it. And I forget what this one is, either gem or shoot, I don't know what. I have them, the tags there. I'm just not gonna go back there to look at them. And another one. So yay, so this should be all pretty with some pretty flowering camellias to kind of cover up that wall. And my orange tree with hummingbird. Hummingbirds love tons of oranges. And now this orange tree is like way too big. I already know that. It's like flipping huge. So soon it's been flowering again, and there's lots of oranges, so I don't think I'll have to worry about lack of orange juice. But I'm gonna have a guy come out and take it down by about a third, I think. It's way too big, and I can't reach the oranges up at the top. Not that I will, even if he takes it down by a third, but It's great for the shade, so for now it is what it is. A big old messy, it's like 60-year-old plus orange tree. And then there's my muddy mess that I just started tilling to soften up the ground a bit because it already was softened up by the rain, but I'm gonna plant a little bit of grass. Sorry for those of you that do not like lawns. I don't really either, but that's what's going there for now. So again, like the third try. But seriously, this clay here is just like cement, and I probably should have put some cover crops or something down way sooner and kind of work at it, but I'm just tired of looking at the dirt and the mud. Oh yeah, see, she can stick her head through the fence. Hopefully she doesn't get caught there, but can't plant anything too close to the border. But anyways, I'm hoping that this will someday again be green. And then as these things mature behind the fence, I can move them to more permanent places, or once I figure out exactly where they're going to go, because I'm limited on my sun. This wall gets sun, afternoon sun, and then that wall over there gets pretty much all day sun, but there's not a heck of a lot of space. I have this one where an apple tree used to be. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant there. Maybe just a pretty ornamental, like a western redbud, just to add some color. Or if I use something too small, the chicks will eat it. That's kind of like my compost pile where I throw all the chicken poo and stuff like that. And it doesn't produce much, but it gives me a little bit of stuff to work with. And then I've got this border area cleaned out now, sort of. And it gets morning sun. So I'm going to probably plant a really nice fragrant camellia. There's like a couple of them, and I think the one I want is high fragrance, and that'll go there. So that's the bedroom window. If I open the bedroom window, I can smell it. So anyways, and then there's like four other roses that have to be planted over there. Then a bunch of things in a pots that just are there out of the reach of the chicks. That's peppermint. Another rose from a cutting that's making it just a little slow. Here's some sage that broke off the sage plant behind the fence, and I stuck it in the pot, and it's growing. So here's another little pomegranate thing that I got from a seed. Another one from a seed. Here's some lemon balm. It smells so good. Oh yeah, strawberries in a pot. More strawberries. Whee! And just some random things like this. I think I got it in a Master Gardener's plant giveaway. I don't even know what it is, but it's pretty. Either that or I got it at work. One of the two. Aloe vera that just had nowhere to put. Oh yeah, here's aloe vera. This is from my grandmother's plants that she gave me like 100 years ago. They're just randomly stuck in here because I don't know where I'm going to put them. These are plants from work that I stuck and put in a pot that just something broke off, and I picked it up and took it home and said, oh, let's put it in a pot. Same with that one. It shouldn't really probably go with the sage, but I don't have all that many pots. Oh, some potatoes from a potato bag that baby reds, I think, and they were getting all kind of yucky, so I was like gonna throw them away, and I'm like, no, let's just put them in a pot and see what happens. And they grew. I've got 4 baby tomatoes in the kitchen from them. Not much, but hey, it's kind of fun just watching, see what happens. Another fallout from work growing, another pomegranate from seed. Oh yeah, my Asian pear tree, and something from work. From Master Gardener's. It's in the wrong soil. I'm sure Rob knows what it is. It's one of those exotic flowers. I'm not really good with names, obviously. And my pomegranate from seed. That one's gonna be kind of pretty. She's got like a nice little trunk going on there, so I'm gonna transplant it into a little bigger pot, and maybe I'll keep it in a pot. Kind of cool. This I got, it was like half the size when I was in Oregon. It's so cool. And this is a rose cutting that's taken off. Here's a lavender cutting that's kind of iffy. It's doing okay, but I think it's gonna make it. And then these guys, the chicks just got to my climbing jasmine, star jasmine, and just knocked it over. It wasn't in a cage, so they have free access to it because they don't usually like it. They just were digging at the roots. But they tore it apart, and I just took a couple cuttings from the mess and stuck it in the soil. Let's just see what happens. And we got over there night blooming jasmine, plumeria here in a pot, but I got to get in a bigger pot. Yes, over here is the night blooming jasmine. Chicks, as you can see, it's kind of the chicks have gotten all the leaves off the bottom because they like eating it. I think it's supposed to be bad for them, but chicks don't usually eat stuff that's bad for them, but these guys do. Then the remainder of you are my gardenia, and there were originally 3 planted here, but unfortunately, between the dog peeing on them and chicks, they didn't make it. So I just put some bird seed down. There's a little bird who's going to take advantage of it. Hello, birdie, birdie, birdie. Hello. And a star jasmine. It's going to be beautiful pretty soon because it's going to be in bloom and it's going to go up the chimney. And I had beautiful things planted there, and they didn't make it because the chicks dug them up and ate them. So right now it's barren, but someday I'll figure out how I'm going to protect that area. So that's basically and the 4 remaining roses that have to be planted. I have variegata di Bologna? No, Bologna. Sorry. If you're still listening now, you deserve this. Baron Prevost, however you say it. Like I said, I'm terrible with the pronunciation. Rose Alba Semiplana, and this guy is Rosa Rugosa Alba, and I forget, one of these is the White Rosa York. So I kind of started off with some David Austin roses, which I really, really love, and if I can somehow figure out how I can plant more, I'll get more. But I've really been into the antique roses, the found roses, like the grandmother's hat back over there that's starting to do really well. That was a found rose that they couldn't figure out what the name of it was, so they basically, the gal that found it named it, said it looks like my grandmother's hat, so that's why it's called grandmother's hat. But I'm really into kind of like the antique varieties and the really fragrant ones, so I have 2 more coming. Twilight Zone is not an antique rose, but it is really, really fragrant. That'll probably go in a pot somewhere back here. Same with, what is the ones? Poseidon. It's like a beautiful, like lavender color. It's so pretty. And these guys, the 4 left, are really fragrant, I believe. So I can't wait to get those in the ground somewhere or in a pot. I'm having trouble deciding. The ground is way too muddy today. I'll give it, I think, got a couple of days of sunshine coming up, so I will just wait and plant those later. But anyways, that's my little garden area. Like I said, that's all just jumbo stuff, and nothing unless it's actually in the ground is where it's supposed to be, so, or where it will end up. But pretty soon pomegranate tree will be beautiful with red buds, hopefully. Cousin It over there is all pretty pink, and then once the roses go over the trellis, we'll have some bloom there by where the welcome bench is. So it's actually very nice. I just come out, feed the chicks, sit out here, think, and watch the birdies. Marley's joined me. Hello, Marley dog. Hello, buddy. And just try to figure out, oh, Mr. Squirrel. That's a mom.